Hi everyone! In this video, I'll walk you through how to generate two of the most important financial reports in Zoho Books: the Profit and Loss Report and the Balance Sheet. These reports help you understand your business performance and overall financial health. Let's get started. First, log in to your Zoho Books account. If you handle multiple organizations, just make sure you've selected the correct one before continuing. Once you're inside the dashboard, head over to the Report section on the left-hand menu. This area contains all your accounting, tax, and business performance reports in one place. Let's begin with the Profit and Loss Report. The report category is under the Business Overview. Simply locate and click the Profit and Loss. From here, choose the date range you want, whether that's for a specific month, quarter, year, or a custom period. Let's say we select the date range previous year. Then we select our report basis, either to accrual or cash. We also have a More Filters option here, which allows us to filter the report by projects or the reporting tags. Next, we click on Run Report. So we have here a table view, and we can also choose the chart view. This report shows your total income, your expenses, and ultimately whether your business made a profit or incurred a loss during that period. It's essentially useful for tracking performance trends and making financial decisions. Here we have the operating income, the cost of goods sold, the operating expenses, which are being categorized. We also have the non-operating income as well as the non-operating expense. And finally, the net profit/loss. Next, let's check the balance sheet. Go back to the reports list and select the balance sheet. Set the reporting date before we proceed on running the report. This time, I will update the report basis to accrual. Then we will run the report. Unlike profit and loss, the balance sheet provides a snapshot of your financial position at a specific moment. It shows what your business owns, also known as your assets, what it owes, or your liabilities, and the remaining equity. So we can see the assets here being categorized. These could be either cash or the bank. Then we also have the accounts receivable and the other current assets, as well as the fixed assets. Then below the assets, we also have the liabilities and equities. So they're also grouped according to categories. And we also have here the totals. And here's a helpful tip. You can export both the reports as a PDF or an Excel file. Print them or share them directly with your accountant, team, or stakeholders. So we can do that for each report by clicking on the Export button located on the upper right side. Then export the report as a PDF or an Excel, or we can print them. So here we will select PDF, and we have the option to protect the exported report with a password to keep your data secured. Or we can just directly hit export without adding the password to the report. So here we are opening the report being exported as a PDF. And that's it. Generating financial reports in Zoho Books is quick, simple, and essential for keeping your business financially informed. In this video, I'll show you how to automate tax calculations, create a new tax, and generate tax reports in Zoho Books. This helps ensure accurate computations, saves time, and keeps your financial records compliant. Let's get started. First, go to Settings. Under Taxes and Compliance, select Taxes. This is where you manage all your tax rates and tax-related configurations. If you need to create a new tax, simply click New Tax. Enter the tax name and specify the tax rate. So we also have an option here to select that this tax is a compound tax if you charge a second tax in addition to the primary tax. Once done, click Save. Your new tax is now ready to use. To incorporate this tax into your records, create or edit a transaction, like an invoice, bill, or expense. So we'll go back to the main page, then we go to Purchases and navigate to Bills. Here we will initiate creating a new bill. Next, we will enter the required fields. Then we proceed with our item table. To incorporate this tax into your records, again, you need to select the line items. So while entering line items, select the appropriate tax from the tax drop-down. So the tax drop-down can be seen beside the rate. Okay, in this case, we will select the latest tax that I have added in the settings, which this is travel tax. Then for the next line item, I will then select another tax. This could be VAT. Then for the other line item, we will change this to GST. Checking below, Zoho Books will automatically calculate the tax amount based on the rate you configured, so there's no need for manual computation. This automation helps reduce errors and ensures consistency across your financial records. We also have an option here to add discounts which will be applied after tax. Okay, this is also updated in real time. So in this example, we will update this to service tax. Then it will be updated here as well in the subtotals. Then if we change this to VAT, the same as the other line item, it will be consolidated. So now we have a total of 3,250.8. Then we'll proceed to saving the bill. Yes, the same total is also reflected here in the details page. Let's check if it's also reflected in the PDF. Okay, we open our exported file. Then we can also see here that the taxes are also applied. Now, to review or file your taxes, go to the Report section. Then we will look for the report category of taxes. Under the tax reports, you'll find options such as the tax summary. We select this report, then select our preferred date range, so we can select the previous year. Then we can automatically see here our recent report. This gives you a clear breakdown of taxes collected, taxes paid, and your total tax obligations. We'll select previous month. Okay, there are no transactions for this range. We'll proceed with this month. Okay, this shows us the previous taxes I have added for my bill. Okay. You can also export the report as a PDF or Excel file for filing, documentation, or sharing it with your accountant. It can be found here. Then we have different options. So we'll try to select Excel. We name our exported file. We also have the option to protect our report with a password to keep your data secured, or we just leave it as an open file. And that's it. You've learned how to create a new tax, automate tax calculations, and generate tax reports in Zoho Books. In this video, I'll guide you through how to file VAT or GST returns using Zoho Books, from preparing your tax data to generating the reports you'll need for submission. Let's get started. Before filing any VAT or GST return, make sure your tax configuration is correct. First, go to Settings, then click on Taxes. Here you can review existing tax rates, create new ones if needed, and confirm that everything matches your current tax regulations. So for example, you'd like to modify the GST and update the rate. There is an option here to select the existing transactions you want to update the tax details for. It could be the recurring transactions. It would also like to include the draft invoices or the draft sales orders. Accurate tax setup ensures your reports reflect the correct figures. Next, ensure all your transactions are updated. Whether you create invoices, bills, expenses, or credit notes, always apply the correct tax rate. Zoho Books automatically calculates the tax amounts, which helps reduce manual errors and keeps your records organized. This setup is crucial because tax reports are generated directly from these transactions. So for example, if we go to the purchases and select the expenses module, so we will open one example here. So for this record, we have added the VAT here, which automatically computes the tax amount. And we can also modify this one. And we can update the tax here. So we are computing the VAT and the GST. So we can see here the GST is now updated to 10%. Okay, we can see that there's a tax amount automatically computed. So we have the option to decide if the amount is tax inclusive or tax exclusive. And next we go through the bills module. Okay, and then we will update the bill information. So this is an example of an unpaid bill. Okay, we will update the tax for this line item, change this to GST. We can add new rows, select our tax here. So for this one, I will select another GST. And there. The taxes will automatically be considered in the computation and will be automatically added here. Especially when we try to export our reports. Yes. Next step is to generate the VAT or GST report. So now we head to the report section from the left menu. Okay, under Taxes Report, we will now select the tax summary. So we can see we have a breakdown here of the taxes. So we have the VAT as well as the service tax. So we can see here there's an active GST here, which previously has the tax percentage of 7. Okay, next we will select our reporting period. So I will select this year. Okay, it gets all the expenses and the bills that have been modified earlier. So we can see it includes the VAT and the GST, as well as the tax percentages we have set for these taxes. So this tax summary is grouped from January 2026 to December 31st, 2026. Okay, clicking on a taxable amount for the VAT tax. You'll get a breakdown showing the tax collected from the sales or tax paid on purchases, your net VAT or GST payables or refundable amount. So we can also customize this reporting. So we can either group them by any of the available fields here. We will go back on the main page. So we have additional filters here. Aside from the date range, we have the report basis. So we can select cash or based on the payment receipt. And as for the entities, we can also include all of the entities. So I would like to see the sales as well as the other entities. So this could also be the liabilities as well as the equities. And we will rerun the report. Okay, updating this back to the previous year, so we have here the VAT. Okay, we click on the tax amount. And we can see here all the VAT transactions from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. Now, what if we will update the report basis? I would like to use accrual or based on the invoice date, and we run our report. So this will show us all the taxes, which also includes the inactive ones or the records that previously used the 7% GST. So that's still going to be computed here in the tax summary. Okay, clicking back on the tax amount so we can see all the VAT transactions from 2025. So we can also see here the transaction type. It could be from the invoice or from the bill or to the purchase or any records such as the vendor credits. So we see here the transaction amount for each of these transactions and as well as their tax amounts. And we also have an entry number. This is basically the unique identifier for each transaction. So clicking one of these will redirect you to the specific record. So for the next step, before filing, Carefully review the report for accuracy. You have to check that all transactions are included, tax rates are correct, and there are no missing entries. So once confirmed, you can export the report as a PDF or Excel and submit it to your tax authority or share it with your accountant. So you can see the export option here, and we can export the file, the whole VAT transactions for the year 2025 as a PDF or an Excel. Okay, we can name our exported file. Let's name this VAT transaction 2025. We also have the option to protect the file with a password or just leave it open. Then hit export. So here is a view of our VAT transactions in the form of a PDF. And that's it. Filing VAT or GST returns using Zoho Books helps streamline compliance, improve accuracy, and simplify tax reporting for your business. In this video, I'll show you how to track and manage your business budgets in Zoho Books, so you can control expenses, monitor performance, and make better financial decisions. Let's get started. So first, you log into your Zoho Books account. So from the main menu, navigate to the Budget section, usually found under the Accountants area. So we expand the Account section, and then we will look for the Budgets module. This is where you can create and manage financial budgets for your business. Click on Create Budget to begin. Enter your budget name. Let's name this as Sample Budget for 2025. Select the fiscal year or your reporting period. So I will choose January 2025 to December 2025. Then our budget period, I would like to use quarterly. Next, you input the expected amounts for income or expenses based on your financial plan. So this helps set clear targets for spending and revenue. So under the income and expense accounts, so we would like to add an account for the income accounts. So I can just basically select all of these. And we can also remove some of the accounts here. So let's also do that for the expense accounts. So I'd like to select all of the accounts here. And we also have the option to include the asset, liability, and equity accounts in your budget. All you have to do is just expand this one and also add the accounts. Next, we save or create our budget. So once your budget is saved, Zoho Books automatically compares it with your actual transactions. As you record invoices, expenses, and bills, the system updates your budget performance in real time. This makes it easy to identify overspending, monitor financial health, and adjust business strategies early. So we can see here we have two tabs. So we have the income and expense accounts, and we also have the asset, liability, and equity accounts. I've selected quarterly so we can compare our data here per quarter. So we have here from January to March. We also have here from April to June, then July to September, and finally October to December. Okay, clicking next also redirects you to the next tab, which is for the asset, liability, and equities. But basically, we can also update our budget period here. So we can just change this to monthly. We can also update the fiscal year. Let's say for last year. Or we can change this to monthly. So everything that you update here is also being reflected in the budget table real time. So for this case, I do not have any actual data at this point. But what's going to happen here is that any transactions that we have made in Zoho Books, they're also reflected real time in the budget. So that will make us go through the review budget reports, which to analyze your budget performance, so you will go to the report section and look for budget related reports. So we will look here, the report category under budgets. Next, we will select the budget versus actual report. So this allows us to select the budgets that we have created. And what this does is that this report will show us the budget versus the actual amounts, the variances and trends, and financial insights for better planning. Regularly reviewing these reports help keep your business financially on track. So for example, we can see here the profit and loss. Okay, here we also have the filters here, so we can adjust these according to your preferences. The budget period, we can also change that. Currently, this is set in quarterly. Next, beside the profit and loss, we also have the balance sheet. And beside the balance sheet, we have the cash flow statement. Okay, similar to other reports, we can also export this report, either a PDF or an Excel, or we can print this one or share this with our accountants. And that's it. Tracking and managing accounts or budgets in Zoho Books helps improve financial visibility, control costs, and support smarter business decisions. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.